Dear friends, engineer, consultants, and architects, welcome once again to VK Jan Sarki MEP classes. In this particular series, I will deal with the means of escape in case of verified severe fire. Now this is a very complicated subject and not properly dealt with in many of the literature. So I will go from basic to basic and let you know the meaning of this subject. Means of egress, निकास हिंदी में, the complete system. What does it mean by means of egress? Uh, Means of egress is the entire continuous and unobstructed path that allows occupant to move from any point in a building to a place of safety outside. Think of it as a full journey from danger to safety. As per National Building Code concept, it consists of three parts. One is exit access, second is exit itself, and third is exit discharge. The point to be noted is that means of egress is equal to exit access plus exit discharge. These three different terms. Hello friends. The exit access, often loosely called escape route. In most of the literature it is called escape route. Exit access is a portion of the means of egress that leads to an exit. Example, from room to corridor, from office area to lobby, from hall to passage and then staircase. The characteristic features of exit access or escape route are not necessarily fire rated, distant limits apply, that means travel distance, may pass through rooms, corridors and aisles. Important. The term important route is not strictly defined in National Building Code, but in practice it usually means the path occupant take it to reach an exit, that is exit access. So escape route is something like exit access in formal usage. Dear friends, the escape route is defined in section 8.2.5 of part 4 of National Building Code. The escape route should be marked with a signboard on the corridor and passage to guide evacuation. That's the importance of the escape route. You have to the building designer has to provide a signboard. Normally, the escape route signboard must be written in luminous paint for easy identification. This is to guide every occupant of the building who is bound to panic in event of accident. Friends, now we define exit that is the protected part of the complete route through which we have to go out. An exit is the protected enclosed portion of the means of egress that provides a safe path during fire. Typical exits are fire-rated structures, external staircases, fire towers, and horizontal exit, that is refuge area. Exit door opening directly to outside. The characteristic feature of an exit is it is fire resistance rated. It is separated from rest of the building, leads either to outside or exit discharge. The key idea is that once you enter an exit, you are inside a fire protected zone. Friends, it is the Indian Standards 1644 of year 2002, known as Code of Practice for Fire Safety of Building General, Exit Requirement and Personal Hazard. Now, exit requirement means ample provision for escape of population of a building when on fire is vital, and all routes should be constructed to ensure that the population reaches a place of safety in the shortest period of time without undue hindrance by smoke, fumes, debris, and like. Now, this exit route should not collapse structurally also. Every exit access or exit discharge shall be continuously maintained free of all obstructions and impediments to full use in case of fire or other emergency. Every building meant for human occupancy should be provided with exits sufficient to permit safe escape of occupants in case of fire and other emergencies. Friends, the definition of exit. It is that unobstructed component of means of egress which is between the exit access and exit. Now, exit access means the portion of the building which is used by tenants and occupied by tenants from where they are supposed to exit the building through different portions. Now, the in between the exit passageway, there is a lobby. There should be a lobby and a staircase and number of staircases through which we proceed to exit discharge. This may be from several areas. One is this, another is this directly, or on the other side through a staircase. So, in properly law in egress and regress are the rights of a person, such a lessee, to enter, leave, and return to proper property respectively. Friends, let us see some definitions which are used in respect of egress system. Exit access, that portion of a means of egress that leads to an exit, for example, doorways, staircase, lobby, ramps, veranda, corridor, or passageway leading to an exit, as previously shown in figure. Second term is exit access corridor, a corridor in exit access which may not necessarily have the requirement of exit being made. Exit discharge, the component of means of egress between the termination of an exit and public way. Next, means of egress, a continuous way of travel from any point in a building or structure to a public way consisting of three separate and distinct parts, that is, exit access, exit and exit discharge. Next, the travel distance, the distance to be traveled from any point in a building to a protected exit or external escape route or final exit measured along with the line of travel. Friends, now we'll be discussing the requirement of exits to be provided in the building. Every building meant for human occupancy shall be provided with the exits, horizontal or vertical, sufficient to permit safe escape of its occupants in case of fire or other emergency. The requirements are here. Exits shall first provide continuous egress to the exterior of the building or to an exterior open space leading to the street. Be so arranged that except in residential building, they can be reached without having to cross another occupied unit. It should be free of obstruction and adequately illuminated. Now, this is important. You have to provide exit signboards to guide the person. The third requirement is the exit should be clearly visible with the routes reaching them clearly marked and sign posted to guide any person to the floor concerned. Exit should be fitted if necessary with the firefighting equipment suitably located but not as to obstruct the passage, clearly marked and with its location clearly indicated on both sides of the exit way. It can be fitted with a fire alarm device if it is either a multi-storied or high-used or a special building so as to ensure its prompt evacuation. It should be so located that the travel distance on the floor does not exceed 22.5 meter. This is very important for residential, educational institutional and hazardous occupancies, and 30 meter for assembly, building, mercantile, industrial and storage. These two figures should be noted. Friends, we have already discussed the exit requirements. Now we'll discuss types of exit. An exit may be a doorway or a corridor or a passenger way to an internal staircase or external staircase or a veranda. or terrace, which have access to street or roof of the building or a refuge area. Will deal with this refuge area little late. An exit may also include a horizontal exit leading to an adjoining building at the same level. Lift and escalators should not be considered as exits. Friends, we are discussing the capacity of exits. There is a method of calculating number of passengers which can be dealt by a unit of exit width, which is taken as 25 centimeter. Occupants per unit exit width should be in accordance with the table 2. The table 2 prescribes uh, two items. According to building type, there are 9 different building type, and for each 9 there are there can be 4 different type of constructions, uh, type 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the this is to be dealt with. It is to be referred this table, which will come in next slide. 3. Horizontal exit allowance. When horizontal exit is provided in the building of mercantile, storage, industrial, business and assembly occupancy, the capacity per story per unit width of exit of staircase is provided in table 2 and may be increased to 50%. Friends, now we are discussing table 2, occupant per unit exit width of National Building Code 2016, which has taken this table from Indian Standard 1641 of 1988 by name Code of Practice for Safety of Building General Principle of Fire Grading and Classification, first revision. Now this table provides column number 2 in which 9 different type of buildings are given, and it provides number of occupants which may be taken for design purpose for stairways, ramps and doors. Staircase, ramp and doors. So this provides we have to design the exits arrangement. Exits should be so located that the travel distance on floor should not exceed the distance given in table 3. Table 3 will give in next slide. The 2. The travel distance to an exit from the dead end of a corridor should not exceed half the distance specified in table 3, except in educational, assembly and institutional occupancy, in which case it should not exceed 6 meter. Third, whenever more than one exit is required for any room, space or floor of a building, exits should be placed as remote from each other as possible and should be arranged to provide direct access in separate directions from any point of the area served. Friends, the table 3 as given in National Building Code 2016 gives travel distance for occupancy and type of construction. Now all the 9 type of building is shown in this column number 2, and the maximum travel distance is given in 2 columns. One is for type 1 and 2, and the second column is for 3 and 4. Now we'll be knowing about type 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in the next slide. In the previous table, friends, type of construction is given as type 1 to 4. The type of construction according to fire resistance shall be classified into 4 categories, namely type 1 construction, type 2, and so on. The fire resistance rating for various type of construction for structural and non-structural members shall be given as in table 1. For buildings 15 meter in height or above, non-combustible material should be used for construction, and internal wall of staircase enclosures should be brickwork of reinforced cement concrete or any other material of construction within having minimum 2 hours fire rating. The walls of the chimney shall be of type 1 or 2 construction, depending upon whether the gas temperature is about 200 degrees Celsius or less. For type 1 it is 200 degrees Celsius, for type 2 it is less than 200 C. Friends, now we'll discuss horizontal exits and refuge area. A horizontal exit shall be through a fire door of 120 minutes, that means 2 hours rating, in a fire resistant wall. Horizontal exit requires separation with the refuge area or adjoining compartment through 120-minute fire barrier. The adjoining compartment of the horizontal exit should allow unlocked and ease of egress and exits for the occupants using different in strategy. 1. A. The width of horizontal exit doorways shall be suitable to meet the occupant load factor for egress. 2. Doors in the horizontal exit shall be openable at all the time from both the sides. 3. All doors shall swing in the direction of exit travel. For horizontal exits, if a double leaf door is used, the right hand door leaf should swing in the direction of exit direction. As per National Building Code, the refuge area is required to be provided in building height more than 24 meter. Refuge area provided shall be planned to accommodate the occupants of 2 consecutive floors. This shall consider occupant of the floor where the refuge is provided and occupants of the floor above, these 2 floors, by considering area of 0.3 square meter per person for calculated number of occupants, and shall include additionally to accommodate 1 wheelchair space of area 0.9 square meter for every 200 occupants. Portion thereof based on the occupant load served by the area of refuge or refuge a minimum of 15 square meter, which shall be higher, shall be provided as under. Continued. Friends, we are discussing the requirement of refuge area. The refuge area shall be provided on the periphery of the floor and open to air at least on one side, protected with suitable ratings. Second, refuge area shall be provided at or immediately above 24 meter and thereafter at every 15 meter or so. Next, each refuge area shall be ventilated and provided with first aid box, fire extinguishers, public address speaker, fireman talk back, and adequate emergency lighting as well as drinking water facility. The refuge areas shall always be kept clear. No storage or combustible products and material, electrical and mechanical equipment, etc. shall be allowed in such areas. Next requirement is entire refuge area shall be provided with sprinklers. Friends, how to calculate the number of exits? This slide shows the method. All the buildings which are 15 meter in height or above and all buildings used as educational, assembly, institutional, industrial, storage and hazardous occupancies and mixed occupancies with any of the aforesaid occupancies having area more than 500 square meter on each floor shall have a minimum of two staircases. They shall be enclosed type, at least one of them shall be on external walls of building and shall open directly to the exterior, interior open space or to an open place of safety. Further, the provision or otherwise of alternative staircase shall be subject to requirement of travel distance being complied with. This slide discusses doorways. Friends, every exit doorway shall open into an enclosed stairway or horizontal exit of a corridor or passage way providing continuous and protected means of egress. Second requirement is no exit doorway shall be less than 1 meter in width except assembly building where the door width shall not be less than 2 meter. Doorways shall not be less than 2 meter in height. Third requirement is exit doorways shall open outwards, that is away from the room, but shall not obstruct the travel along any exit. No door, when opened, shall reduce the required width of the staircase of landing to less than 900 mm. Overhead or sliding doors shall not be installed. Note: in case of building where there is a central corridor, the door of room shall open inwards to permit a smooth flow of traffic in the corridor. The next requirement for exit doors shall not open immediately upon a flight of stairs. A landing equal to at least the width of the door shall be provided in the stairway at each doorway. The level of landing shall be same as that of the floor which it serves. Next requirement is exit doorways shall be openable from the side which they serve without the use of key. Next, mirrors shall not be placed in exit way or exit door to avoid confusion regarding direction of exit. Friends, now we are discussing corridors and passageway. Exit corridors and passageways shall be of width not less than the aggregate required width of the exit doorways leading from them in direction of travel to the exterior. Second item of design is where stairway discharge through corridors and passageway, the height of the corridor and passageways shall not be less than 2.4 meter. The third point of design is all means of exit, including staircases, lift, lobbies, and corridors, shall be adequately ventilated. Friends, now we are discussing internal staircases, how they are designed. The internal stair shall not be constructed of non-combustible material throughout. Second, internal stair shall be constructed as a self-contained unit with an external wall of building constituting at least one of its sides and shall be completely enclosed. The third item is a staircase shall not be arranged round a lift shaft. Fourth item of design is design of internal staircases is hollow combustible construction shall not be permitted. The fifth item is no gas piping or electrical panel shall be allowed in the stairway. Ducting in the staircase may be permitted if it is of 1 hour fire resistant rating. Friends, this slide provides the minimum width of staircases in different building type. For residential building, it should be 1 meter. Residential hotel buildings 1.5. Assembly buildings like auditorium, theater and cinema 2 meter. Educational building up to 30 meter in height 1.5 meter. Institutional building like hospital 2 meters and all other building 1.5 meters. Friends, the design of a staircase shall also take into account the following items. 1. The minimum headroom in a passage under the landing of a staircase and under the staircase shall be 2.2 meter. Second point, for building 15 meter in height or more, access to main staircase shall be through a fire smoke check door of minimum 2 hours fire resistance. Fire resistance rating may be reduced to 1 hour for residential buildings, except hotel and starred hotels. No living space, store or other fire risk shall open directly into staircase or staircases. Fourth, external exit door of staircase enclosure at ground level shall open directly to the open spaces or through a large lobby, if necessary. The main external staircases shall be continuous from ground floor to terrace level. In case of internal staircases, the sixth item of design is that no electrical shaft or AC duct or gas pipe shall pass through open in the staircase. The seventh item is lift shall not open in staircase. Eighth, no combustible material shall be used for decorating wall paneling in the staircase. Ninth, The beam or columns, and other building features shall not reduce the headroom width of the staircase. The 10th item. The exit sign and arrow indicating the way to the escape route shall be provided at a suitable height from the door level on wall and shall be illuminated by electric light connected to corridor circuits. All exit way marking signs should be flush with the wall and so designed that no mechanical damage shall occur to them due to moving of furniture or other heavy equipment. Further, all landing of floor shall have floor indicating boards permanently indicating the number of floor as per bylaws. Friends, the 11th item of design, the floor indication board shall be placed on the wall immediately facing the flight of stairs and nearest to landing. It shall be size not less than 0.5 meter by 0.5. The 12th item of design says individual floor shall be prominently indicated on the wall facing the staircase. 13th item is in case of single staircase, it shall terminate at the ground floor level and the access to basement shall be by a separate staircase. 14th item of design says the second staircase may lead to basement floor provided the same is separate at ground level by ventilated lobby with discharge point to two different and through enclosures. Friends, this pressurization of staircases, that means vertical pressurization is very important so that in case of deep fire, the smoke does not get accumulated and the pressurization fan is provided on the top landing. Though in normal building design, compartmentation play a vital part in limiting the spread of fire, smoke will readily spread to adjacent spaces through the various leakage opening in the compartment enclosure, such as cracks opening around pipes, duct, airflow grills, and doors. As perfect sealing to all these openings is not possible. It is smoke and toxic gases rather than the flame that will initially obstruct the free movement of occupant of the building through the means of escape routes. Has the exclusion of smoke and toxic gases from the protected route is of great importance. Pressurization is a method adopted for protected escape routes against ingress of smoke, especially in high-rise buildings. In pressurization, air is injected into the staircases, lobbies, or corridor to raise their pressure slightly above the pressure in the adjacent part of the building. As a result, ingress of smoke or toxic gases into escape route will be prevented. The pressurization of staircase shall be adopted for high-rise buildings and buildings having mixed occupancy and multiplexes having covered area more than 500 square meter. Friends, the pressurization system may be of two types. One is single stage designed for operation only in the event of emergency and two stage where normally a level of pressurization is maintained in the protected escape route, and increased level of pressurization can be brought into operation in emergency, that is, in case of fire. The normal air conditioning pressurization system shall be treated as an integral one, especially for two-stage system. When the emergency pressurization is brought into action, the following changes in normal air conditioning system shall be effected. 1. Any recirculation of air shall be stopped and all exhaust air vented to the atmosphere. Second, any air supply to the spaces or areas other than escape route shall be stopped. Friends, we are discussing the elements of pressurization system. The exhaust system may be continually provided. 1. The position of extraction grills permit a general air flow away from the protected space route entry. Second, the construction of the ductwork and fans is such that it will not be rendered inoperable by hot gases and smoke. And 3. There is no danger of spread of smoke to other floors by path of extraction system, which can be ensured by keeping the extraction fan running. Now we are discussing horizontal exits. The width of the horizontal exits shall be same as for the exit doorways. Second, a horizontal exit shall be equipped with at least one fire smoke door of minimum 1 hour fire resistance of self-closing type. Further, it is required to have direct connectivity to the fire escape staircase for evacuation. Friends, some more information regarding refuge area for building more than 24 meter in height, refuge area of 15 meter square or an area equivalent to 0.3 meter square per person to accommodate the occupants of two consecutive floors, whichever is higher, shall be provided as under. The refuge area shall be provided on the periphery of the floor or preferably on a cantilever projection and open to air at least on one side protected with similar railings. B. For floors above 24 up to 39, one refuge area on floor immediately above 24. For floors above 39 meter, one refuge area on the floor immediately above 39 and so on for every 15 meter. Refuge area provided in excess of requirements shall be counted towards FAR. Friends, a fire door is an internal door whose purpose is to 1. Create or protect an escape route through a building in the fire situation, and 2. Compartmentalize a fire to stop flames and smoke spreading from one section to another section of the building. Examples of locations of fire door include stairwells, where they protect the stair from corridor opening onto them, kitchen catering facilities, storage area that house combustible materials such as paper or card, and boiler rooms. Friends, now we are discussing exit discharge, final stretch or stretch of safety way. Exit discharge is the part that connects an exit to a public way, safe open area. Example: staircase leading to open courtyard, exit door leading to a road, exit passage exiting to leading to assembly area, endpoint, public way, road, street, open space with required width. Friends, how many exit routes must a workplace have? Normally, a workplace must have at least two exit routes to permit prompt evacuation of employee and other building occupant during an emergency, that is fire. More than two exits are required. However, if the number of employee, size of the building or arrangement of the workplace will not allow employee to evacuate safely. Exit route must be located as far as away as practical from each other in the case one is blocked by fire or smoke. Exit discharges must lead directly outside or to a street, walkway, refuge area, public way, or open space with access to outside. These exit discharges area must be large enough to accommodate the building occupant likely to use the exit route. Friends, now we are coming to end of this presentation. Uh, the two things are escape lighting is a part of emergency lighting system which is provided to ensure that the escape route is illuminated at all material times. For example, at all times when persons are on the premises or at all times the main lighting is not available either for the whole building or for escape route. So we have a device like emergency lighting system, a complete but discrete emergency lighting installation from the standby power source to emergency lighting lamp are to be provided. For example, self-contained emergency luminaire or a circuit from central battery generator connected through wiring to several luminaire. Friends, thanks for listening and seeing this presentation peacefully.